All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna fix some of the hiccups on the car. I gotta do some power steering and figure out my temp switch, and we're gonna lower the rear end of the car because, as you can see, the rear end is way higher up than the front. So we're gonna do that. Last night I put a little muffler on here. Nothing crazy, just kind of welded it on, and then I put a little J-pipe just to see what it would sound like, and it doesn't sound too bad. It's good enough for a drift car. So I already lost a corner light on the test drive, so we're gonna have to go find another one of those. There's my corner light. Lost that on the turn. Right, we're gonna start with jacking up the car, put the front end on some jack stands so we can bleed the power steering. All right, now we got the car up on jack stands. I'm gonna drain the power steering fluid, and I'm gonna drain all that, and then we're gonna bleed it, and hopefully that fixes our issue. And then after that, we're gonna put our intake back on, or make an intake real quick, and then we're gonna figure out why my temp sensors don't work. So we're gonna come back here, and maybe we have to replace it. So we'll see what we have to do, and then we'll just button up the engine bay and make everything look pretty today. Got all the old fluid drained out of here, and then we're also gonna turn this. Actually goes downhill. There you go. Yeah, we're gonna let that drain, and I'm gonna go put the wheel lock to lock a couple times so the oil will all come out, and then we're gonna do that 2 times, and once we flush this 2 times, we'll bleed it, and hopefully my power steering will work again, and I don't have to replace my pump. All right, now I've got some ATF. Be sure to use ATF, and I'm gonna throw some in that reservoir real quick, bleed it again, flush it, and then do it 2 times, and then on the 3rd time it should be good. Isn't that right, puppy? All right, so I got the power steering bled the best as I could, and we'll see how good that is. But for in the meantime, I started putting all my plastics on. So I put this plastic on. I cut this was an M52 one, so I literally just cut it straight so it'll come on here. This is the M3 cowl, or the 328 that has the alternator vent, but I cut it and I snipped it and made it into a little hood vent or engine vent where it comes down right here. And I'm just gonna spend today cleaning up the engine bay, and then we're gonna head over to the rear end and lower this thing some more, and we're gonna put this intake on. So I sprayed the engine bay down with some degreaser, so now I'm just gonna go through and just kind of wipe everything down. We're gonna get this bolted in here as well so it's not so wobbly. All right, this is after a quick wipe down. We got it looking pretty. I am so happy with this. It looks so good. Now I want to wash the outside of the car, so I think what we're gonna do is we're probably just gonna drop the front end now, lift up the rear. We'll lower it, and then we'll wash the car, and we'll go for a little test drive, make sure everything runs good. So I got the car jacked up now. I had these Raceland springs laying around the shop, and I'm gonna take those old H&R springs out of there, and I'm gonna swap them out with these Racelands because my rear is way higher than I want it to be, and hopefully these will get it to the height I want it at. And then after that, we're gonna go give it a wash, go for a little test drive. Here's a quick visual of the difference between the Racelands and I thought they were H&R, but they're DDM tuning. And these are way stiffer. These are a little softer. I'm gonna put these on They're a little bit lower, and hopefully they'll get us to where we want it to be. All right, the car is now lowered. I got the springs in there. It sits way lower. Looks good now. It's tucking real hard on this side because of my driveway, but that's all good. Really happy with how it looks now. Just rinsed it down, took it for a test drive. Drives good, drives way better than before with it being low. The power steering still giving me issues, so we're just gonna have to replace the pump. But the car looks so good now that it's low. Just looks amazing. So I'm gonna give it a quick wash, and then we're gonna go drive around a little bit and make sure everything's good. All right, she got a good wash now. The fans are plugged in. We're about to go for a test drive. We are now driving. My power steering is still really rough. I think I need a new pump, but the car feels way better. It still has a small exhaust leak. Not that small, it's pretty loud, but yeah, it's still a little loud in here. But the car drives good. The steering wheel is a little off, but other than that, this car is doing good. I'm happy with it. We're gonna drive it for a couple minutes and make sure everything's good and go home. I was just driving around, making sure everything's good, and I went for a clutch kick and I heard pop. And I was like, oh, that sounds like an axle. And sure enough, we broke an axle, and so the car drives a little funny. We'll make it home, we'll be good. And then I'm just a little worried because I got some tape on here. I hope this axle doesn't break on my iPhone. But other than that, the car did good, drives good, did amazing. Stay tuned. This will probably end episode 5 unless I end up breaking down on the side of the road somewhere. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.